Someone is about to open up to you, but I have to be honest. The reason they are opening up is not just love. It is pressure. It is regret. It is the uncomfortable realization that the person they once left out in the cold is now being spoken about with warmth, admiration, and respect. And with this first card coming out as the Five of Pentacles, I need you to stay with me because this card is already telling a very specific story. Welcome back to Love Arcana Vault. All right, let's see what's going on around you. The Five of Pentacles is showing me a time where you may have felt abandoned, unsupported, misunderstood, or emotionally shut out. This is the energy of walking through the cold while the light is glowing somewhere nearby. It feels like there was a situation where people had access to comfort, community, warmth, or support, and somehow you were made to feel like you were outside of it. And I'm going to say this carefully, because this feels personal. Somebody may have treated you like you were lacking something, lacking stability, lacking value, lacking confidence, lacking proof, lacking the kind of image they thought mattered. They may have judged you during a vulnerable season and assumed that version of you was the whole story. But here's the strange part. The Five of Pentacles is not showing me that you are still outside in the cold. It is showing me that someone remembers when they put you there. Someone remembers when they did not choose you, did not defend you, did not check on you, did not speak honestly, did not offer warmth when warmth was needed. And now your name is being praised. That is the shift. People are starting to see your strength differently. They are seeing how much you carried. They are seeing how graceful you were when you had every reason to become bitter. They are seeing that you did not fall apart just because someone tried to exclude you. You kept walking, maybe wounded, maybe tired, maybe quiet, but you kept moving. Tell me about this Five of Pentacles. Why is this here? Because someone thought your low moment would define you. Someone thought your absence from certain spaces would make people forget about you. Someone thought if they pulled their energy back, you would shrink, but you did not shrink. You became harder to ignore. And I feel jealousy around that, because somebody is watching the same person they counted out become respected. This could be someone who gossiped, someone who doubted you, someone who looked for proof that you were unstable, fake, dramatic, or undeserving. They may have checked fake accounts, saved screenshots, asked around, or tried to find dirt, but they cannot find the proof they wanted. All they are finding is that people still admire you. People still ask about you. People still notice your beauty, your resilience, your talent, your emotional maturity, your glow. And this is where the romantic energy begins to creep in. Because there is someone here who left you emotionally out in the cold, or allowed distance to grow between you. They have been quiet, but their emotions are not quiet anymore. They may have acted detached, proud, or unavailable, but underneath that silence is guilt. Underneath that silence is longing. Underneath that silence is the realization that you are not standing at the door waiting to be let back in. You found your own warmth, and now they feel outside of yours. This Five of Pentacles is saying someone is about to open up because they can feel the cost of their silence. They can feel the door closing. They can feel that you are no longer begging for emotional shelter from anyone who made you question your worth. Someone is haunted by the way they abandoned you. Someone is haunted by what they said about you. And someone else is haunted by the fact that the world is starting to see exactly what they failed to value. This first card is not just about being left out. It is about the moment the tables begin to turn. The one who was overlooked becomes the one being praised. The one who was judged becomes the one being respected. The one who was left in the cold becomes the one carrying the light. And somebody cannot stand it. And with that energy sitting there, the wheel of fortune comes in like the moment the whole room starts to shift. Because this is not staying stuck in that Five of Pentacles place. This is not you standing outside that same door, waiting for the same people to suddenly become kind. No, the wheel is turning. And that is why somebody is uncomfortable. Because when the wheel turns, people have to meet the version of you they did not prepare for. Tell me about this Wheel of Fortune. Why is this here? This is showing me a shift in the room, a shift in how people speak about you, a shift in how your name lands when it comes up before. Somebody may have been comfortable with the idea that you were misunderstood. They may have even benefited from that. If people were confused about you, if people only knew one side, If people saw you through a foggy little lens, that worked in this person's favor. But now the fog is lifting. And I feel like somebody is trying to keep up with the way your reputation is changing. Not necessarily public fame, although for some of you there could be attention around your work, your appearance, your growth, your social media, your healing, your confidence. But this feels more like respect, quiet respect. People noticing that you have substance. People noticing that you are not who someone tried to make you look like. And the Wheel of Fortune is interesting here because it does not ask permission before it turns. That is what is bothering someone. They thought they had more control over the story. They thought they could freeze you in an old chapter. They thought people would keep remembering you through a low season, through pain, through silence, through whatever version of you was easiest to judge, but the wheel moved. And now I'm seeing this watching energy again. Somebody is paying attention to how people react to you. They are listening for your name. They are checking who supports you. They are noticing who likes you, who compliments you, who asks about you, who seems drawn to you. This could be through fake accounts, screenshots, little conversations, people reporting back, or someone quietly gathering details because they want to understand why you are still being praised. But here's the strange part. It feels like the more they look for something negative, the more they find reasons other people admire you, they cannot find the proof they wanted. They may find that you are moving in silence. They may find that you are not explaining yourself. They may find that you are not chasing anyone down to clear your name. They may find that you are simply continuing, working, healing, showing up, looking better, feeling better, becoming more grounded. And that bothers them because it means the story they told themselves is collapsing without you even touching it. What's going on around you? There is a jealousy here that is not loud at first. It is not always someone yelling, competing, or directly attacking you. Sometimes jealousy looks like someone refreshing a page. Sometimes it looks like someone asking a casual question with too much interest behind it. Sometimes it looks like someone saving a screenshot, not because they need it, but because they are studying you, trying to figure out what changed, trying to figure out why you're being chosen, noticed, defended, admired. And I want to be clear, this Wheel of Fortune is not saying you need to fear that energy. It is saying that energy cannot stop the turn. Because the real reason they are triggered is not just that people are praising you. It is that you survived being left out without becoming cruel. That is the part they did not expect. You did not need revenge. You did not need to expose everyone. You did not need to run around proving your side to every person who misunderstood you. You let time speak. You let your character speak. You let the wheel speak. And now, the same praise that is making one person jealous is making someone else panic in a completely different way. Because there is a romantic person in this energy who is also watching this turn happen. And for them, it is not just jealousy. It is fear. Fear that while they were silent, you became someone they may not be able to reach anymore. And from that turn of the wheel, this Six of Pentacles starts to explain why that fear is coming up so strongly now. Because this person knows there was an imbalance. They know something was not mutual. They know you gave more than you received. They know you were offering patience, understanding, softness, benefit of the doubt, emotional space, and they were giving you silence, hesitation, confusion, or just enough to keep you wondering, tell me about this Six of Pentacles. Why is this here? This is the energy of someone looking back at how little they gave you compared to what you deserved. And I don't feel like they fully understood it while it was happening. At the time, they may have convinced themselves they were being careful. They may have told themselves they were protecting their peace, protecting their pride, protecting their feelings, not moving too fast, not being vulnerable too soon. But wait, look at the emotional pattern here. Their control may have felt like rejection to you. Their fear may have felt like abandonment to you. Their silence may have felt like they did not care. And now they are realizing that whatever they thought they were protecting, they may have actually damaged the connection. They may have made you feel like you were standing there with open hands, waiting for something honest, while they kept weighing out tiny pieces of attention like it was costing them too much to be real. And I'm not saying that to make them sound cruel. I'm saying that because this card is showing a power dynamic. Someone had more control over the emotional flow. Someone decided when to give, when to pull back, when to respond, when to disappear, when to act warm, when to act cold. And for a while, you may have accepted less because you felt the potential. You felt there was something deeper under the surface. You felt the emotion that they were not saying out loud. But now the wheel has turned, and with the Six of Pentacles here, people are pouring into you in different ways. Praise, support, recognition, interest, compliments, respect, people noticing your value without you begging them to see it. And that is what is making this romantic person nervous, because now they are seeing you receive from places they did not expect. Maybe someone is complimenting you. Maybe someone is supporting your work. Maybe someone is giving you attention. Maybe someone is showing you the kind of consistency they failed to give, and even if you are not entertaining anyone seriously, they can feel that your energy is no longer sitting empty, waiting for them to fill it. That is the pressure. Tell me about this silence. Why did they hold back? I feel pride here. I feel fear of not being enough. I feel someone who did not want to need you, because needing you would mean they were not as in control as they pretended to be. They may have been afraid that if they opened up and you did not respond the way they hoped, it would expose how much they actually cared. So they gave a little, then they watched, they pulled back, then they checked, they stayed quiet, then they wondered why you were not chasing. And now, with this Six of Pentacles, they are seeing that you are not empty-handed anymore. This is where the jealous person and the romantic person start to overlap in a very strange way. They may not be the same person, but they are watching the same thing. Your glow up, your balance returning, your name being praised, your energy being valued, your life beginning to receive what was withheld from you. One person is triggered by comparison. The other is triggered by regret. And the romantic person, I feel they want to come clean. They want to explain why they were distant. They want to apologize for making you feel like you had to earn basic emotional honesty, but they are intimidated now because you do not look like someone who can be fed crumbs anymore. You look like someone who knows the difference between giving and begging. You look like someone who knows the difference between kindness and self-abandonment. And that is why this person is close to opening up, because they can feel that if they come forward with the same small offering, the same vague message, the same half-truth, it will not be enough. This time, they have to bring sincerity. This time, they have to bring balance. This time, they have to admit that they felt more than they showed. But the deeper question is, why is your praise so threatening to someone else? Why does your name being spoken well of make another person feel exposed? Because that part is coming up next, and it feels very specific. And when I look at these three cards together, the question becomes very clear. Why is this person so bothered? Because this spread is showing a full reversal of position. Five of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Six of Pentacles. You went from feeling left out to the wheel turning to finally receiving what was not being given before, and somebody is watching that sequence happen in real time. That is why your praise feels threatening to them. It is not just that people are saying nice things about you, it is that every compliment, every bit of respect, every person who notices your value is quietly proving an old story wrong. Somebody had a version of you in their mind that made them feel safe. Maybe they told themselves you were weak. Maybe they told themselves you were too emotional. Maybe they told themselves you needed them more than they needed you. Maybe they told themselves that without their approval, without their attention, without their little doorway of access, you would stay in that Five of Pentacles energy, outside, waiting, unsure. But the Wheel of Fortune came in and said no. That chapter is not the whole book. And now, with the Six of Pentacles, you are receiving maybe not from the exact person who withheld from you, maybe not in the exact way you once hoped, but you are receiving validation, attention, kindness, recognition, admiration, and for someone who expected you to stay overlooked, that is very uncomfortable. Tell me about this jealousy. Why is it so intense I feel shame underneath it? Not just envy, shame. Because someone is haunted by what they said about you. They may not show that. They may act casual. They may act like they do not care. But there is this energy of, what if people find out I was wrong about them? Or, what if people see that I judged them too quickly? Or, what if the person I treated like they had no value is actually the one everyone respects? That is the truth bomb here. They cannot find the proof they wanted. They wanted proof that you were fake, proof that you were unstable, proof that you were not as strong as people think, proof that your glow was temporary, proof that your silence meant weakness. But all they are finding is that you are moving in silence and still being noticed. And that is the last laugh. Not a loud laugh, not a petty laugh, not you standing there trying to embarrass anyone. This is the kind of last laugh where your peace becomes the answer. Your growth becomes the answer. Your character becomes the answer. You are the true gem in this situation. And somebody may be realizing they treated you like something ordinary because they did not know how to recognize value without losing control. But here's the warning, and I want you to hear this calmly. Do not let someone pull you back into the cold just because they are uncomfortable with your warmth. Someone may try to bait a reaction out of you, a strange message, a random question, a little comment that feels loaded. Someone fishing for information. Someone trying to see if you are still hurt, still angry, still available, still easy to shake. Do not give them the version of you they are hoping to screenshot. Stay graceful, stay quiet, stay focused. Because this spread is showing spiritual protection through restraint. Your protection is not only coming from above, it is also coming through your ability to not over-explain, not overreact, not run back into old rooms just because someone opened the door a crack. And wait, look at the deeper pattern here. The person who left you outside now feels outside of you. They feel outside of your peace, outside of your confidence, outside of your attention, outside of the warmth they once had access to. And that is why this romantic person is getting close to speaking, because they can feel the door closing in a way they did not expect. The praise around you is doing two different things at once. It is exposing the jealous person's insecurity, and it is waking up the romantic person's courage. Because now they know silence may cost them. They know imbalance may cost them. They know if they come back with crumbs, you will recognize it immediately. And what I feel they are preparing to say is not something casual anymore, because this feels like someone is not just watching anymore. They are trying to find the nerve to finally come forward. And for now, what I want you to remember is this. You do not have to step back into the cold to prove that you are warm. You do not have to explain your worth to someone who only recognized it after other people started speaking your name with respect. Let them come forward correctly. Let them bring truth. Let them bring balance. Let them bring more than silence this time. Because your energy is not desperate here. Your energy is protected. Your energy is being seen. And whether this person opens up today, tomorrow, or when they finally run out of excuses, the message is still the same. You were never as forgotten as someone hoped you would be. You were never as replaceable as they tried to make you feel. And the same door they left you outside of may now be the door they are afraid to knock on. This is what I'm seeing for you. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching Love Arcana Vault, and I'll see you in the next reading.